Now, our feature presentation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Wealth Management Advisory Club meeting. But more importantly, welcome. And yes, I know it's sad, but it is the final day of our spring break workshop spectacular. We extended it 2 more chapters that you guys already know already. On Monday, we did chapter 11, investment due diligence. And this is going to be the final chapter. So the next email for all of our FDU members on Sunday, when we do send you guys our weekly emails, but who's coming in this week, I will include in that email the link to the Mega Workshops Drive, which you guys are able to view that on your own time, which we did that back, I believe, in early March. And then obviously I will include every single workshop spectacular we did in that folder for you guys to view, do whatever you want with it. Obviously, it'll be on view mode only because, the board and I worked our butts to work on this for you guys, so we don't want anybody messing it up. So that's basically what's going to happen. I just want to say, first of all, thank you guys so much for, supporting us through this entire spring break workshop spectacular. This was a trial run for us. I definitely think, by looking at the views, looking at the numbers and looking at, what you guys are telling me and my e-board, I think we're definitely going to do this next year. I think it's quite a blast that we're able to do it. And not only that, we're going to bring new topics to the table that you guys have probably never even thought about, even have a workshop about. But, I think with the success of this, we're going to probably do it again next year without even freaking thinking about it. We're going to do it. So this is it, the final chapter. And we saved one that is very, very relevant to FDU, actually, because it is about personal finance management. Now, you're probably wondering, well, wait, isn't that a class at FDU? Well, it actually is. And we decided, we want to go off the bang, and why don't we do a workshop based on a course that you guys already taken already. So if anyone's even thinking about taking personal finance management next semester in the fall, you guys are going to get a little bit of a sneak peek about what you're going to be learning in there and a more in-depth look about what it is, even though it's not going to be with, the exams and quizzes and everything, which I think it's better than, doing that. No offense, but, in the e-board and I opinion, I think we do that. So if you guys are ready, I know I'm most certainly ready, and I hate to say this because I know this is the last time we're going to be doing this for our workshop spectacular, but let's get this party started, baby. Happy Friday, everyone, by the way. Let me get my handy dandy PowerPoint up in here. Okay, get that going, get this going. All right, the final chapter, personal finance management. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about what is personal financial management, why is it important, and obviously I'm going to say this just as a disclaimer. When I say PFM, that is personal finance management, because again, I'm going to keep saying it a lot. So just to not board you guys out, I will say the acronym PKM. So again, if you do hear me say PFM, that's personal finance management. So just a disclaimer. We're going to talk about goal setting, we're going to talk about budgeting, credit management, debt management. Now, if we did do a debt management workshop, I will talk about a little bit about that as well in this workshop. Savings, retirement plan, we did talk about that in chapter, I believe it was either 7, I think we did talk about it. So if you want to watch that one to get more in depth about it, I will talk a little bit about it, but not go wholly in depth on it, because again, we don't want to repeat ourselves. You can go watch chapter 7 of our spring break workshop spectacular to go in depth about that. We're also going to talk about insurance, taxes, emergency fund. We're also talking about financial education. So this actually, with financial education, it does to some degree does touch a little bit on chapter what we did on financial literacy. So I will go probably half in depth. And again, I will encourage you guys to go watch that workshop because we did go fully in depth on that. Money mindset, setting financial boundaries, tracking expenses, cash flow management. And then finally, we're going to talk about financial health checkup, the financial team, financial planning for life events, avoiding financial scams, changing habits, staying motivated, reviewing and adjusting, and then finally, going to wrap it all up with one big conclusion about what you guys just learned today in this workshop. So before we go in depth about everything, we got to first talk about what is personal finance management. Well, personal finance management refers to the process of managing one's finances to meet their financial goals and achieve financial stability. It involves various activities such as budgeting, investing, saving, debt management, credit management, retirement planning, insurance, taxes, and financial education. In this workshop, I am going to go through each and every single one of these in depth, excluding the ones, obviously, that we've done a workshop on already for Springboard Workshop Spectacular, those being debt management, and retirement planning, because obviously we've already talked about those more in depth, and I'm not going to bore you guys out too much about that. So again, we're not going to go fully in depth on those, but we'll talk a little bit about them. So why is PFM even important? Well, the importance of personal finance management cannot be overstated. Effective PFM enables individuals to make informed financial decisions, achieve their financial goals, and build financial stability. It helps individuals to live within their means and avoid debt, and also to manage their finances in a way that aligns with their goals and priorities. And PFM also plays a critical role in ensuring financial security and preparedness for any unexpected events that might happen. So, for example, as emergency, job losses or health issues, like even other example, like COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs during COVID. That, is an unexpected event. It enables individuals to build wealth, plan for retirement, and enjoy a comfortable standard of living in their golden years. And when I mean golden years, I mean when you get really old. And again, I don't want to jump real far ahead on that because we have a lot to live here. We are all in our young 20s. We want to live, live our best life, obviously. Okay, so let's talk first about goal setting. So goal setting is a critical component of PFM because it involves specific, measurable, achievement, relevant, and time-bound goals that align with one's financial objectives and priority, or otherwise known as the acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T. Okay? And funny enough, how I remember it, because I don't know if anyone did have this back in their school, like elementary schools or middle schools. Anyone remember we had those smart boards in the past? We had like those big, like giant whiteboards. It was like electronic and it had like the camera. Anyone remember those? Because I remember I had that. I believe it was, I know I had it in elementary school. I know I had it in middle school. For anyone who lived in the same town as me, if you know what I'm talking about, then, you would get the point I'm trying to make here. But okay, so why is goal setting important in PFM? Well, I'm going to go through all these, and it is very important for a couple of reasons. First, it provides direction and focus. Setting financial goals provides individuals with a clear sense of direction and focus, helping them to prioritize their spending, savings, and investments. It also increases their motivation. Clear financial goals can increase motivation and help individuals to stay focused and committed to achieving their financial objectives. It also promotes finance disciplines. Goal setting promotes financial discipline by encouraging individuals to avoid unnecessary spending and stick to a budget, and also to save regularly. Plus, it allows you to facilitate decision-making. Having the clear financial goals helps individuals to make better financial decisions by evaluating their options against their priorities and their long-term objectives. And finally, it measures your progress. Setting measurable goals provides a means to track your progress and evaluate success, helping individuals stay on track and to adjust their strategies if needed. So just to go in depth on SMART goal setting, obviously it is the framework for setting and achieving goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, like I talked about earlier. Now, these goals provide a structured approach to a goal setting that helps individuals define clear and actionable objectives that align with their personal or professional aspirations. So, obviously, I did talk in simple form or short-term form about what SMART is. But now let me go in depth on each of the letters of what the meaning behind it is. So we have S, which is specific. Specific goals are well-defined, clear, and focused. They answer the questions of what, why, and how. The more specific the goal, the easier it is to develop a plan and to ultimately achieve it. Now we have M, measurable. Measurable goals have specific metrics or indicators that can be used to track progress and evaluate success. Measuring progress provides motivation and helps individuals stay on track towards achieving their goals. We then have A, achievable. Achievable goals are realistic and attainable within a defined time frame. It is important to set goals that challenge individuals while being attainable based on their skill, resources, and time. Relevant. R. Relevant goals are aligned with an individual's overall vision, mission, and values. Goals should be meaningful and important to individuals and support their personal or professional growth. And then finally, T, time-bound. Time-bound goals have a specific deadline for completion. Setting a deadline provides a sense of urgency and helps individuals prioritize tasks and allocate resources to achieve their goals within a defined time frame. All right, we're going to talk about budgeting now. Now, I know we did talk about this in a couple of our chapters or our workshop spectacular, but obviously this is going to be more important because it's about personal financial management. So again, this one we're going to go heavily in depth on because we did talk a little bit about them in our previous workshops. I don't know which ones I forgot because we did so many. But if you guys want to figure out which ones, go to our website or go to our YouTube page or Rumble and figure out which one it is. Because I think it probably was more of a recent ones, probably maybe 8, maybe 10 or 11. I think it might have been probably 10 or 11, maybe them both, I think. So budgeting is a fundamental aspect of PFM. because it involves creating a plan for income and expenses, which helps individuals to track their spending and manage their finances efficiently and effectively. So why is it important? Well, basically, it helps in achieving financial goals. Budgeting provides a clearer picture of one's incomes and expenses, enabling individuals to allocate their resources effectively towards achieving their financial goals. Promotes financial discipline. Budgeting promotes financial discipline by encouraging individuals to avoid overspending and, save regularly and stick to a budget. Helps to avoid debt. By tracking expenses and prioritizing spending, budgeting helps individuals to avoid unnecessary debt and manage their debt effectively. It also provides insight into spending habits. Budgeting provides insights into spending habits and helps individuals to identify areas where they can reduce their expenses and save more. And finally, peace of mind. I really shouldn't go in depth on that one because it's kind of really self-explanatory. Peace of mind, then you don't have to worry about it. Now, there are types of expenses out there, and there are 3 of them, which are fixed expenses. So, for example, rent, mortgage, or car payment, and insurance. Variable expenses, an example of that would be groceries, if you go out to the movies or buy Netflix subscriptions or even dining out. And then irregular expenses, which those could be, as an example, car repairs and medical bills. Now, let's talk about now creating a budget. We did talk about this a little bit in our previous workshops, but just to simplify it, creating a budget involves setting financial goals, identifying all sources of income, listing all the expenses, categorizing expenses to fixed, variable, and irregular, allocating funds for each expense category, and tracking actual expenses against the budget expenses. This process helps individuals to prioritize their spending, reduce expenses, and save more money towards their financial goals. All right, let's talk about credit management. For that, by the way, if I go way too fast, like all of our previous workshops, speaker notes are in the slides. Just a little friendly reminder. So, credit management. Credit management is a critical component of PFMB that involves managing one's borrowing and credit uses. It is essential because credit impacts many aspects of personal finance, including debt management, interest rates, and credit scores. Now, again, we did talk about credit scores, mainly FICO scores, back in chapter, I think it was 4. And we did talk about debt management as well in our previous workshop. So again, if you want to see those more in depth, go to those workshops and watch them. So why is credit management important in PFM? Well, it enables access to credit. Good credit management increases an individual's chances of accessing credit, such as, for example, loans, credit cards at favorable interest rates and terms. It also affects borrowing capacity. Credit management impacts an individual's borrowing capacity, which determining the amount of credit that needs to be assessed. And it affects the interest rates. Good credit management can lead to lower interest rate on credit products, which can save individuals money over the long term. It also affects their credit score. Credit management is crucial for maintaining a good credit score, which can open up access to more credit and to better interest rate. And it also helps to avoid debt. So again, I'm not going to repeat myself on that because I already explained it once. But there are 3 types of debt. Now, I know we did not talk about this during our fundamentals of building and maintaining a FICO score. So I'm going to talk about them now in depth on each of these. We have secured credit, which, for example, mortgages and car loans will be an example of that. Unsecured credit, example, credit cards and personal loans, and revolving credit, which is, again, credit cards and lines of credit. More specifically, lines of credit would be an example of it. Don't really associate revolving credit with credit cards because that's really considered under unsecured credit. Lines of credit basically would be actually considered under revolving credit. So, credit scores and reports. Now, I know we did talk about this during our fundamentals of building and maintaining a FICO score report workshop. So, again, Cliff Notes version of it. This is basically what it is for anyone who was living in Iraq and forgot to watch that workshop. Credit scores and reports are also essential aspects of credit management. Credit scores are numerical values that indicate an individual's credit worthiness, while credit reports are detailed records of an individual's credit history. Good credit management involves regularly checking and monitoring credit scores and reports to identify errors, detect fraud, and maintain good credit standing. It is recommended that individuals check their credit reports at least once a year and take steps to correct any errors or inaccuracies. All right, debt management. Now, I know we did talk about this during our previous workshops. So again, this part of it is probably going to go really, really fast because we already talked about it already, but it'll probably be a Cliff Notes version of it because, again, I'm not going to bore you guys out with stuff we already talked about in previous workshops. If you want to go hear more depth about that, go to that workshop and watch that entirely. And then obviously come back here just a refresher. But Cliff Notes version of debt management. Debt management is a crucial component of PFM that involves effectively managing one's debt. Debt management is essential because excessive debt can have a significant impact on an individual's financial health and well-being. Now, why is it important? Well, basically, it helps to avoid financial distress, which effective debt management can help individuals to avoid financial distress caused by excessive debt and debt-related stresses. It increases financial stability. Good debt management can increase financial stability by reducing debt burdens and enabling individuals to save more money. It also improves their credit score or their FICO score. Effective debt management can help individuals to improve their credit scores by making timely debt payments and reducing the debt balances. And then finally, enables better financial decision-making. Effective debt management provides individuals with a clear picture of their financial situation, enabling them to make better financial decisions. Now, there are 3 types of debt. Now, I know I did not talk about this during our workshop, but I will talk about the 2 other types of debt, which are unsecured and revolving. Just like, if you want to talk about that, see, credit and debt management both have the same types. If you think about it, because debt had unsecured and revolving, and credit management actually has unsecured and revolving. So you really remember that. So not really to go in heavily depth about this because again, it's the same thing as credit cards. So debt, unsecured debt, and revolving debt. Now, here's some strategies for debt management. Obviously, the short-term form of it. Developing a debt repayment plan. Developing a debt repayment plan involves creating a plan for paying off debt systematically, focusing on high-interest debts first. Reducing expenses. Reducing expenses can help individuals to free up more money to pay off debt. Increasing income. Increasing income can also help individuals to free up more money to pay off debt. Consolidating debt. Consolidating debt involves combining multiple debts into one giant loan offered at a lower interest. Negotiating with creditors. Negotiating with creditors can help individuals to reduce interest rates, waive fees, and develop a more manageable repayment plan. And then seeking professional help, obviously. That's very, very straightforward. All right, savings. Let's talk about that now. So savings is a critical component of PFM because it involves setting aside money for future needs, emergencies, and long-term financial goals. Effective savings management is essential because it provides financial security and enables individuals to achieve their financial goals. And the importance of it, well, basically, I already talked about provides financial security already, but I will talk about the enables the achievement of financial goals. Effective savings management helps individuals to achieve their financial goals, such as buying a home, saving retirement, or even starting a startup business. And also, it reduces reliance on credit. Effective savings management reduces reliance on credit by providing an alternate source of funding for expenses. And obviously, we did talk about improved financial stability. Now, I know some of these are going to be repeating because they kind of go hand in hand with each other. So again, I do apologize. So there are 3 types of savings: emergency, short-term, and long-term. I think I really shouldn't go in depth about these because I think they're very self-explanatory, but I will anyway. Emergency, if you really need like an emergency, like if you had a car accident or, you have another child. Short-term, that basically be, less than a year. Long-term is more than 1 year. And here's some strategies for saving money. Establish a savings plan. Establishing a savings plan involves setting specific saving goals, determining the amount to be saved regularly, and identifying the best saving vehicles. Automated savings. Automatic savings involves setting up automatic savings transfer from a checking account to a savings account or other saving vehicles. Reducing expenses. Reducing expenses can free up more money to be saved. Increasing income. Increasing income can also help individuals save more money. Using tax advantage saving account. Tax advantage savings accounts, such as, for example, a 401k and an IRA, which is an individual retirement account, provide tax benefits that can help individuals save more money, and also to avoid lifestyle inflation. Avoiding lifestyle inflation, resisting the urge to increase expenses as income increases, enabling individuals to save more money in the long term. All right, investing. Now, I know we did talk about this part, probably not in our spring break workshop at TACM. I know we did talk about it a little bit in depth, I think, during our mega workshops. We talk about investment strategies and planning. So again, this part might be going fast, might be. So investing is a crucial aspect of PFM because it involves money used to generate income or profit. Investing is essential because it can help individuals to grow their wealth, achieve their long-term financial goals, and beat the inflation. And why is it important? Well, basically, it enables wealth growth. Investing can help individuals to grow their wealth by generating income and capital gains. It also achieves their long-term financial goals. beat inflation, which, investing can help individuals to beat inflation by generating returns that exceed the rate of inflation, and also diversifies financial portfolio. Investing can help individuals diversify their financial portfolio, reducing risk and maximizing the returns, which I will plug this in because I think this kind of, goes hand in hand. Come to Student Management Business Fund Club every Tuesday from 3 to 5 p.m. in the Bloomberg Labs on the Forum campus, in the Monitor Center, and in Dickinson Hall, the Metro campus, with your hosts, John Budish and Richard Benner, former FDU alumni. Able to tie them in together, so yay. Okay, so these are the type of investments. Now, again, I'm not going to cover all of these in depth because we did talk about this during our investment strategies and investment planning workshops. So if you want to hear all those in depth, go to that workshop and listen to that. But in short term, the types of investments: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds or ETFs, real estate, and alternative investments, or REITs for real estate. Real estate. You never know. That might actually be a future workshop we do for WMA Club. Hint, hint. The next workshop we're doing. Okay, so here's some investment strategies. So goal-based investing. Goal-based investing involves identifying specific financial goals and developing an investment strategy that aligns with their goals. Asset allocation. Asset allocation involves diversifying investments across different asset classes to reduce the risk and maximize returns. The buy and hold strategy. The buy and hold strategy involves buying investments and holding them on for an extended period, typically years or even decades. As an example, Student Managed Investment Fund Club uses a buy and hold strategy because they're in for the long term. They're not day traders. As an example, they wish you able to tie that in together. So, yes. Dollar costing average. Dollar costing average involves investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, regardless of the market's fluctuations. Value investing. Value investing involves investing in undervalued stocks or other assets with the potential for long-term growth. And then finally, growth investing. Growth investing involves investing in companies or assets with high growth potential, typically in emerging industries or sectors. All right, so retirement planning. So we did talk about this during our workshop spectacular. So again, this part, I definitely know we're going to go breeze by this real quick because we already talked about it already. But again, like I've already said probably 8 times during this workshop, go watch that workshop in depth for a more detailed version of retirement planning. But retirement planning is an essential aspect in PFM because it involves developing a plan to fund retirement and maintain financial stability after retirement. An effective strategy for retirement planning can help individuals achieve their retirement goals, maintain their standard of living, and reduce their financial stress. So why is it important? Well, it ensures financial stability in their retirement. It achieves their retirement goals and also reduces their financial stress, like I talked about earlier. Now, the types of retirement plans, we did cover all these in depth during the retirement planning workshop, so I'm just going to list them off. Employer-sponsored retirement plans, 401k plans, IRAs, which are individual retirement accounts, and then annuities. Now, here's some strategies for retirement planning. I know we did talk, and I'm probably going to list all these off because I think we did talk about these again in depth. Starting early, which, like I've said, if you remember the one thing I told you guys to take away from that workshop is to start early planning for retirement. And again, I'm going to say it again. Start early for retirement. Start planning now while you're in college. Setting retirement goals, saving consistently, diversifying investments, monitoring and adjusting the plan, and then seeking professional advice. Again, we did go over all these more in depth on our retirement plan workshop, so go watch that to hear me go more in depth about those. All right, insurance. So insurance is a critical component of PFM that involves protecting oneself and one's assets against unexpected risks and losses. Effective insurance management is essential because it provides financial protection and enables individuals to manage risk effectively. Now, why is it important? Again, I already talked about that, but I'll talk about the one other point that I really didn't point out. Insurers' legal compliance. Insurance is often required by law, such as auto insurance or workers' compensation insurance. So there are a bunch of types of insurances. Health insurance, which we did talk about during our healthcare planning workshop, or our spring break workshop spectacular. Life insurance, disability insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, auto insurance, liability insurance. And you know what? We might even do this workshop one day. You never know. You never know. We might come up with an idea that we actually did during one of our workshops. You never know. So here's our strategies for selecting insurance. Assessing the insurance needs. Assessing insurance needs involves evaluating one's financial situation, identifying the potential risks, and determining the type of insurance cover required. Comparing insurance policies. Now, comparing the insurance policies involves researching and comparing different insurance policies to determine the best coverage and rates. Reviewing policy terms involves carefully reading the insurance policy to understand the coverage, exclusions, and limitations. Evaluating insurance providers involves researching the reputation, financial stability, and the customer service of the insurance company. And finally, seeking professional advice. Okay, taxes. I know we did talk about this. We did talk about tax planning, but we really didn't talk about it in the personal finance management way, if you think about it. We did cover more heavily about how to prepare your taxes, but let's talk now more in general about taxes. So taxes, they're a critical component of PFM because that can significantly impact an individual's financial situation. Taxes are essential because they fund the government services and programs and affect the amount of money individuals have available for spending, saving, and investing. So the importance of it, like I've already said earlier, it does affect their income. Taxes can significantly affect the individual's income by reducing the amount of money available for spending, saving, and investing, like I said earlier. It also affects their investment returns. Taxes can impact investment returns by reducing the amount of money earned on the investments. And also affects their financial planning. Taxes can affect financial planning by impacting the amount of money available for achieving their financial goals, and also ensures compliance. Paying taxes is mandatory and it is required by law. And again, I highly, highly encourage you all, and I really shouldn't say encourage, I really make sure all of your members do pay your taxes. And I think I did say during our tax planning workshop, so please pay your taxes, please do. Okay, so there are 4 types of taxes: income taxes, property taxes, sale tax, and estate taxes. If you want to hear about them more in depth, go to our tax planning workshop. We did talk about all these in depth. And here's some strategies for tax planning. So first you want to do is understand the tax laws. Understanding the tax laws involves staying up to date with the changes in tax laws and regulations to ensure compliance and optimizing tax planning. And obviously for yours truly, who is an accounting major, if you are planning on going the tax side of things, you have to stay up to date with the tax law. It's constantly updating every single year. Maximizing deductions, which involves identifying all available tax deductions and credits to reducing tax liability. Tax loss harvesting involves selling investments at a loss to offset capital gains and reduce tax liability. Retirement planning, we already talked about that already. So again, I'm not going to really cover that in depth, but I will say it will be able to reduce your current tax liability and increase retirement savings. Charitable giving, which involves, it's very simple, charity. You give money to charities or donating to qualifying charities or to tax deductions and reduce tax liabilities. And then seeking professional advice. All right, so we're currently, I think, if I look up how many, I think this is how many slides we got here. Okay, all right, we're technically at the halfway point here. Little water break. All right. So let's now talk about emergency fund, which I think it's very simple. And see, we've got the little, fire truck there with the hose, emergency. Try to make it fun for you guys to watch this instead of me just reading them off to you. So an emergency fund is a critical component of PFM because it provides a safety net for unexpected expenses and emergencies. It involves setting aside money in the savings account or other liquid assets to cover unexpected expenses that can arise due to various emergencies that are out of our control. And why is it important? It does provide financial security. It also reduces reliance on credit. An emergency fund reduces reliance on credit by providing an alternate source of funding for unexpected expenses. And it also reduces financial stress, which basically can provide you peace of mind knowing that unexpected expenses can be covered without causing financial hardship. It also enables better financial decision-making, which basically with the emergency fund, it can provide a cushion for unexpected expenses, enabling individuals to avoid making rash and harsh decisions that they have to make. So you actually probably know what type of emergencies are, but in the business world or in life, there are a couple of emergencies. So for example, like I talked about in the beginning of the workshop, job losses, medical emergencies, car repairs, home repairs, natural disasters like an earthquake or a hurricane, like Hurricane Sandy that hit in New Jersey 2012, that is considered a natural disaster, which will actually be considered an emergency. So here's some strategies for building an emergency fund. Setting savings goals. Setting saving goals involves determining the amount of money needed for emergency expenses and setting a goal to save that amount. Creating a budget. We already talked about that already, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Automating savings. Automating savings involves setting up an automatic transfers from a checking account to savings accounts or other liquid asset. Starting small, which involves setting aside small amounts of money regularly to build up an emergency fund over time. Using windfalls such as bonuses, tax refunds, or even inheritances can be used to build up an emergency fund. And also avoiding temptation. Avoiding temptation involves resisting the urge to use emergency fund savings for non-emergency expenses. So what I mean by non-emergency expenses, anything that is not an emergency, like I just talked about earlier on this slide, that's considered a non-emergency expense. All right, so financial education. So I think this one's going to be probably self-explanatory because you guys, if you do go to college, then you're getting a financial education. If you're a finance major, or accounting major, or MIS major, or wealth management major, you're getting financial education. And even you probably did it in high school and in middle school, and probably not elementary, but most likely in high school, but rarely in middle school. It varies. But financial education is a crucial component of PFM that involves acquiring knowledge and skills related to managing personal finances effectively. Effective financial education is essential because it enables individuals to make informed financial decisions, avoid financial mistakes, and achieve their financial goals, and also to network with professionals as well, which basically is what we do. We do provide financial education by doing these workshops. So again, I already talked about this, but there are one of them, or why we'll talk about prevent financial mistakes. Financial education helps individuals avoid common financial mistakes, such as, for example, overspending, taking on excessive debt, and making poor investment choices. It also improves the financial outcomes, which by enabling individuals to manage their finances effectively, build wealth, and achieve their financial goals, and also builds their financial confidence. Now, the types of financial education, personal finance courses. Obviously, I believe if you went to the town I lived in, basically we did have, I believe in high school, we had a personal finance course I think we take, and I think I did take that. I think my freshman year I took it in high school. Workshops. This, what you're watching right now, this, seminars, books, podcasts, online resources, and finance clubs like Wealth Management Advisory Club. I was able to tie that in together. Yes. All right. So strategies for financial education. So you want to first identify financial goals. Identifying financial goals involves setting specific financial goals, such as paying off debt, saving retirement, or buying a home. You also want to do is assessing financial knowledge, which involves evaluating one's current knowledge and skills relating to personal financial management. Developing a financial plan involves creating a plan to achieve financial goals and manage their personal finances effectively. Researching financial topics involves reading books, attending workshops like these that we do here every so often, and exploring online resources to learn more about personal financial management, or going to clubs like SME, WMA Club, or going to Markets Update every 3 to 4 p.m. with John Bowdish and Rich Brenner hosting, and seeking professional advice. So the money mindset. Now you're probably wondering, wait, well, why should I even care about money mindset? Well, it does play a factor in PFM, and I will explain that right now. Money mindset refers to an individual's attitudes, beliefs, and emotions towards money and personal finance. A positive money mindset can help individuals manage their finances effectively, making sound financial decisions and achieve their financial goals. However, on the other side of that coin, a negative money mindset can lead to financial stress, poor financial decisions, and also financial struggles. Now, again, why does this matter in PFM? Because it does shape the financial behavior. Money mindset shapes individuals' financial behavior, influencing how they manage their money, spend, and save it. It also affects their financial outcomes, which, such as wealth, accommodation, debt management, and investment success. It also influences financial decision-making, which, money mindset influences that because such as, investment choices, career paths, like, for example, if you're planning on thinking of going into accounting and minoring in finance, or you're going the other way around, maybe majoring in wealth management and minoring in accounting or finance or MIS, as an example, and even spending habits, which I think in college, we all have that in life, and hopefully as you get older, you'll learn how to spend your money and save it more better as time goes on. And it impacts overall well-being. Money mindset impacts overall well-being, including mental health, stress levels, and quality of life, which I know mental health is a huge topic here in college, which again, we want everyone to be mentally, safe and healthy. And they're able to put themselves first and be the best version of themselves every single day, like my old man usually tells me every day when I wake up. So there are 4 types of mindsets. So there's sacredity mindset, abundancy mindset, money avoidance mindset, and money worship mindset. I'm not going to cover all these in depth, but if you do want to look them up, go to the speaker notes, slide 66, and read all about them. So strategies for improving money mindset. You'll be able to identify limiting beliefs. Identifying limiting beliefs involves recognizing negative thoughts and beliefs that may be hindering financial success. Practicing gratitude involves focusing on what one has rather than what one lacks, which can help them shift towards abundance mindset. Setting positive financial goals, developing positive financial habits, educating oneself about personal finance. So educating oneself about personal finance can help individuals gain knowledge and skills to manage their finances effectively, reduce financial stress, and building confidence. Obviously, educating yourself by paying attention in your classes for finance or economics, or coming to WMA club, coming to SME, from the markets update, going to P2P events. Obviously, it will educate you about personal finances, and also seeking professional help. Kind of the common theme with all these strategies. We talk about seeking professional help. Yeah, kind of thinking about it like that. But anyway, all right. So even touching on it a little bit, let's go more in depth about setting financial boundaries. I know we did talk about this in Money Mindset. We did talk about it in a couple of these parts here in this workshop, but let's now go in depth about that and why that is important in PFM. So setting financial boundaries is a critical component of PFM that involves establishing clear limits around spending, saving, and investing. Effective financial boundaries are essential because they help individuals manage their finances effectively, achieve their financial goals, and avoid financial stress. Now, again, why is this important? Basically, it does provide financial clarity around spending, saving, and investing, enable individuals to make informed financial decisions. It also reduces their financial conflict, can reduce financial conflict in relationships by establishing clear expectations and priorities around spending and saving. It helps manage financial stress by providing a framework for managing personal finances effectively, reducing uncertainty, and also supporting their financial goals. So there are some types of financial boundaries, and we did talk about one of these in this workshop, and we did talk about them in a couple other workshops a little in depth, but we did talk one majorly, which is budgeting. Then we also setting limits on discretionary spending, establishing investment goals and risk tolerance, and creating financial agreements with partners or family members. So here's some strategy for setting the financial boundaries. So you first want to do is identify personal financial values, which involves determining what is important to an individual in terms of their finances, such as saving up for retirement or reducing debt, setting financial goals, creating a budget, discussing financial boundaries with partners or family members. Involves establishing clear expectations and boundaries around spending, saving, and investing with your family members or your partners, and then sticking to financial boundaries. Involves finally following through on those commitments and making adjustments necessary to ensure financial goals are achieved. All right, let's talk about now tracking expenses. I know we talked about a little bit about expenses already, but let's now go heavily into how to track them. So tracking expenses is a critical component of PFM that involves keeping track of all money spent over a period of time. Effective expense tracking is essential because it provides insight into spending habits, enables individuals to identify areas where expenses can be reduced, and helps individuals achieve their financial goals. So why is it important? Well, it does provide insight into spending habits, it enables budgeting, supporting financial goal setting, and reduces the financial stress. So there are a bunch of expense tracking tools out there, and believe me, one of them I know we all use in college. I think everyone probably knows this one. Yes, spreadsheets. And what I mean by spreadsheets is Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Basically, that's what spreadsheets are basically. Budgeting apps, personal finance software, and then pen and paper methods. So what your parents did in the old days, that's basically what they did before we had the internet and technology. So again, I rather suggest doing spreadsheets, but if you're like your parents, you want to do it old-fashioned way, no problem, just do pen and paper. So here's the strategies for tracking expenses. You want to do is make sure you categorize your expenses, which involves grouping expenses into categories, such as example, housing, food, transportation, and entertainment, to help identify areas where expenses can be reduced. You also want to make sure, and I hope you do this, record all your expenses. It involves keeping track of every dollar spent, and I mean every dollar and every cent spent, including cash transactions, which are accuracy in tracking expenses. And also you want to make sure you're reviewing your expenses regularly, which basically involves reviewing expenses on a weekly or monthly basis to identify areas where expenses can be reduced and to ensure that spending aligns with the financial goals. Setting spending limits. Setting spending limits involves establishing specific limits on spending in certain categories to avoid overspending and stick to a budget. So I know there's a couple apps out there. I think for Current, I think the one I use for my debit card, they basically do have an option where you're able to set a limit for the week. So obviously I do suggest if you basically are an overspender, use that because again, it is going to help you not waste all your money. And then use expense tracking tools, which I already talked about already in here. So I'm not going to really go over them again, but you guys know what those are now. All right, cash flow management now. So CFM. So cash flow management is a critical component of personal finance management, or PFM, that involves monitoring and managing the flow of cash in and out of an individual's accounts. Effective cash flow management is essential because it provides insight into the income and expenses, enables individuals to prioritize their spendings, and help individuals achieve their financial goals. So why is it important? Well, again, it provides insight into their income and expenses. It also enables the prioritization of spending, which basically cash flow management, it does enable them because it helps identify essential expenses and discretionary expenses that can be reduced. It also supports financial goal setting and helps them to avoid debt. which I hope, again, we all do not want to go in debt in life. We never want to do that. So there are types of cash flow management. So tracking income and expenses. We did talk about tracking expenses already in the previous section of this workshop. So again, if you guys want to watch, you guys want to go rewind and watch that part, go rewatch that. Creating cash flow statements, using cash flow forecasting tools, and establishing a cash reserve. So here's some strategies for cash flow management. So again, creating a budget, we already talked about. Reducing expenses, increasing income, automating bill payments. We already talked about those. And establishing emergency. We already talked about that. But I'm going to talk about now monitoring cash flow regularly. I'm going to talk about that now in depth because that's the only one we really didn't talk about really much. So basically, monitoring cash flow regularly involves reviewing an income expense on a weekly or monthly basis, ensure that spending aligns with the financial goals, and identify where improvements can be made. And I honestly, now I'm thinking about it, we already talked about this already. So again, I just kind of lied to myself. We did talk about this already in depth. So, so let's now talk about financial health checkup. And yeah, you think that, you think, oh, you need to get checkups. Well, yeah, finance also needs to get a checkup at some point, because they do have health in life, not really like living, breathing health, like they have a living, breathing heart. They have like a figurative form of it. So a financial health checkup is an assessment of an individual's financial situation that helps identify their strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for improvement. So basically like a SWOT analysis that I know some of your marketing majors probably have done before. It's basically like that, but for finance majors, for improvement. It is essential that a potential component of PFM because it enables individuals to evaluate their financial health, identify areas for improvement, and make informed financial decisions. So why is it important? Well, it does provide a comprehensive review of the financial health. Financial health checkup provides a comprehensive view of the individual's financial situation, including income, expenses, debts, and assets. It also identifies areas for improvements, such as reducing debt, increasing savings, or improving your credit score, your FICO score. It also helps you achieve your finance goals and prevents financial distress. Now, there are some types of financial health checkups. Now, we did talk about one of these during our fundamentals of building and maintaining a FICO score workshop, which is credit reports. So I'm not really going to go heavily in depth on that. Debt to income ratio analysis, retirement saving analysis, and budget reviews are basically types of financial health checkups. And some strategies for financial health checkups, reviewing the financial statements. So reviewing the financial statements, I think this is very easy for anyone who is a sophomore or junior. You probably should know this by now, but for freshmen, if you don't know what that means, well, let me help you explain that. Basically, that means reviewing the bank statements, credit card statements, and other financial records that identify spending patterns and identify areas for improvement. Analyzing debt involves assessing the amount and the type of debt an individual has and developing a plan to pay it off entirely. Checking credit reports, which involves reviewing credit reports to identify errors, inaccuracies, or potential areas for improvement in the credit scores or your FICO score. Evaluating savings and investment, which involves reviewing retirement accounts, savings accounts, and investment portfolios to ensure that they align with the financial goals and the risk tolerance. Developing a financial plan, which involves, again, very simple, a plan to achieve financial goals and manage their personal finances effectively, and also to seek professional advice. All right, financial team. As the old saying goes in life, there is no I in team. I'm trying to make this fun for you guys to watch this. So having a financial team can be an essential part of PFM. Financial professionals can provide guidance, advice, and expertise to help individuals make informed financial decisions and achieve their financial goals. And obviously, we've had a lot, and I mean a lot of financial professionals coming to speak to WMA Club from the very beginning of this club to now. And please, after this workshop's over, please watch the old ones that we've done because they are very, very insightful and very, very helpful for all of you. So why is it important to have a financial team in PFM? Well, they do provide expertise and advice and in various areas of personal finance, such as investment planning, tax planning, and insurance, which we did talk about investment planning and tax planning during our workshops that we've done in the past. So again, after this meeting, after this workshop, go watch that workshop. They also offer objective opinions and recommendations that may not be influenced by personal emotions or biases. They also save time and effort by managing their finances for them, providing advice on investment strategies, and taking care of their tax and accounting matters, and it helps individuals achieve their financial goals. Now, there are types of financial teams. So, for example, there's financial advisors, and oh, look at that, accountants. See, accountants can actually be part of a financial team. Tax professionals, insurance agents, and estate planning attorneys. Now, here's a strategy for selecting a financial team. You first want to make sure you identifying their financial goals and needs. which involves determining what financial services are required and what financial goals need to be achieved. You want to also do this, and I highly suggest this even when you're doing, when you're going on an interview or even when you're looking up something, do your research. I know it seems like a lot, but again, you're going to feel better about yourself knowing that, oh, I'm going to this company and I think that I'm interviewing for a great company, but in reality, I looked them up and it's not really great. Yeah. It involves looking for professionals who have expertise in their areas need and who have a good reputation in their industry. So example, like if they acquire their CFA designation or CFP designation, they know what they're talking about, obviously. So as an example, interviewing potential candidates involves meeting with potential financial professionals to determine if they are a good fit to assess their qualifications and experience. Checking credentials and references, like I already talked about checking credentials. So if they have their CFP license or their CFA license, if they have their Series 7 license, their FINRA, their SIE license, obviously, as an example. And seeking feedback from previous clients, reviewing the fees and the cost, which involves understanding the fee structure and the costs associated with the financial services and evaluating whether they align with the individual's budget and their financial goals. And then establishing clear communication, which involves ensuring that there is a clear and open communication between the individual and the financial professional to ensure that the goals met and financial needs are addressed. And again, I really feel that is a huge part in team building. So again, you need to have clear communication, because if you guys are not communicating that well, then, then the whole thing's going to fall apart. All right. Financial planning for life events. Let's talk about that now. So financial planning for life events is a critical aspect of PFM that involves preparing for significant life events that impact an individual's financial situation. Effective financial planning for life events can help individuals manage their finances effectively, reduce stress, and achieve their financial goals. So the importance of it, again, it helps manage financial risk, it supports their financial goals, and it reduces their financial risk. And some life events, I think everyone should know this by now, but marriage, divorce, birth or adoption of a child, buying a home, retirement, death. So here's some strategies for financial planning for life events. Again, you want to make sure you identify your financial goals, assessing financial resources, which involves determining what financial resources are available to achieve the financial goals related to life events, such as savings, investments, or insurance policies. Developing a financial plan, reviewing insurance coverages, which involves assessing a current insurance policies such as health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, and determining if any additional coverage is needed for the life event, like we talked about earlier in our insurance part of the workshop we just had today. Seeking professional advice and reviewing and adjusting the plan. Now, I'm not going to talk in depth about reviewing and adjusting the plan just yet, because it's actually going to be one of our final points on the workshop. So I will touch that more in depth towards the end. So do not worry, we will touch that in its own entirety in just a couple of minutes. So again, stay tuned. So avoiding financial scams. This is what we all do not want to go through. Like, we never want to get scammed out of money. So again, this part, really listen up. Even for the freshmen, please listen up to this, because it's very important. So avoiding financial scams is a crucial aspect of PFM that involves protecting oneself from fraudulent activities that can result in financial losses. Effective strategies for avoiding financial scams can help individuals safeguard their finances and avoid becoming victims of financial fraud. Now, why is this important? I think this is very, very simple and straight to the point. It prevents financial losses. Avoiding financial scams prevents financial losses by protecting individuals from fraudulent activities that can result in theft or loss of money. It also preserves financial reputation, which preserves financial reputation by preventing identity theft, which can damage credit scores or FICO scores and make it difficult to attain credit or loans, and also maintains your financial security. Avoiding financial scams maintains financial security by protecting personal and financial information from theft and from fraud. And there are a bunch of financial scams out there. And believe me, there are a lot of phishing scams, identity theft, Ponzi schemes, like, the pyramid schemes, like the Egyptians made in Egypt, the pyramids, as an example, investment fraud and credit card fraud. And even as an example, FTX. And if everyone remember what that was, you know what it is. And that was a financial scam. So as an example, a real life example, to say the least. So here's some strategies for avoiding those financial scams. Be cautious of unsolicited offers. Being cautious of unsolicited offers involves being wary of emails, phone calls, or other communications from unknown or unverified sources. If you get a phone call from an unknown number, just hang up the phone. They're probably telemarketers. Don't answer the phone. Verifying identities, which involves checking the legitimacy of individuals or companies before providing personal financial information. And that's why I heavily advise you to do your research before you do anything. And again, please do that. Protecting personal information, which involves safeguarding personal and financial information, such as your social security number, your bank account numbers, and credit card information. Educating oneself about financial scams. which involves staying informed about common types of financial scams and how to recognize them and even to ultimately avoid them, which we all want to do that. Seeking professional advice and then monitoring the financial accounts, which involves regularly reviewing the bank and credit card statements to identify unauthorized transactions or suspicious activity. Now, again, if you do see unknown payments on your credit card, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the first thing you should do, because this happened to my mother, can't freeze your credit card, freeze it so that they don't spend it. Trust me. I'm going to save you guys a lot of money. So changing habits we're going to talk about next. So see, changing the leaves from summer to fall. I know it's way far away. I don't want to get too out of myself on that, but So changing habits is actually an essential aspect of PFM. It involves developing new behaviors and attitudes towards money. And effective strategies for changing habits that can help individuals improve their financial well-being, reduce debt, and achieve their financial goals. Now, again, this is very simple. Changing habits, it improves their financial well-being, support their financial goals, and reducing their financial stress. And some habits, like we talked about in this workshop today, overspending, impulsive buying, lack of budgeting, and not even saving enough money for retirement, as an example. Now, strategies for changing the habits, this is very simple, and we talked about all of these already, but I will talk about one of these in depth. So again, setting clear financial goals, creating a budget, tracking expenses, reducing debt, increasing savings, seeking support, and then practicing mindfulness, which I'll talk about that right now, which involves being present and aware of personal spending habits and making conscious decisions about spending and saving. All right, now staying motivated. Now, obviously, we want to be motivated in life. So obviously, you got to get yourself in a routine. Like, for example, going to the gym every day. I know it sucks. You have to wake up early in the morning and do it. But if you keep doing it, you keep yourself motivated, you keep yourself in a positive mind frame, as an example. Not related to finance at all, but, just as a personal experience that I did. So staying motivated is actually a crucial aspect of PFM that involves maintaining the drive and focus. But drive, it's about power. That song that The Rock was featured on. I'm trying to freaking tie that into here. So, and I can't play that music. Otherwise, we're going to get this meeting demonetized. So, oops. These to achieve their financial goals. Effective strategies for staying motivated can help individuals overcome challenges, maintain momentum, and achieve their financial objectives. And why is this important? Well, you want to maintain your momentum, which by providing the drive and need to keep making progress towards financial goals, overcoming challenges, staying motivated helps individuals overcome challenges and setbacks and unexpected expenses that may arise during their financial journey and also achieve their financial objectives. And the types of motivations are intrinsic, extrinsic, and then social motivation. So here's some strategies for staying motivated. Setting achievable goals, which involves setting realistic. And when I mean realistic goals, not like outlandish goals, like realistic goals you can actually set for yourself. And specific financial objectives that are attainable within the defined time, within a year, obviously. Going back to the short-term goals. I think they probably talked about that in oh my gosh, I think here at FDU, I know we did like a intro to college life, which again, I hated that because I knew what it was already because I had a guidance counselor, which is my mother, who told me about it. So I really need to worry about it, even though I passed the class with an A, but that is what it is. And also it was a one credit course. So, So celebrating the small wins, which involves recognizing and celebrating the small milestones along the way to achieve financial goals, such as paying off a credit card or reaching a savings milestone. Keeping track of progress involves monitoring and tracking financial progress towards goals, such as reviewing bank statements, investment portfolios, and credit scores or FICO scores regularly. Seeking inspiration, which involves finding sources of inspiration, success stories, motivational quotes, or financial podcasts that can help maintain motivation and drive. And there's a bunch of podcasts out there on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud. Go look them up, obviously. And you know what? This might give us an idea to actually do a podcast for WMA Club. You never know. Anything can happen. Creating a support system involves building a network of friends or family or financial professionals who can offer encouragement, support, and advice. And that is why I always say to build your network, because they'll be able to help you out during your career. And honestly, if you're a freshman, you should start doing that right now. Like, for example, going to P2P events to build your network. Trust me, you're going to be thanking me in probably 5 years because of that advice. And rewarding oneself involves treating oneself for achieving financial milestones or making progress towards financial goals, such as enjoying a favorite activity or purchasing a small luxury item. When I mean small, I mean like really small. Don't purchase a big luxury item. Small. All right, reviewing and adjusting. So I know we did talk about this a little bit earlier, but now we're finally going to get into this more in depth about why this is important in PFM. So reviewing and adjusting is an essential aspect of PFM that involves regularly evaluating and making changes to financial plans and strategies to ensure that they align with the financial objectives and circumstances. And effective strategies for this can help individuals adapt to changing financial situations, reduce financial stress, and achieve their financial goals. So basically, adapts to changing circumstances. With reviewing and adjusting allows individuals to adapt to changing financial circumstances, such as changes in income, expenses, or life events to ensure financial plans remain relevant and effective. It also reduces financial stress and support the financial goal. Now, the types of review and adjust are basically simple. Reviewing and adjusting budgets, investment portfolios, debt repayment plans, insurance policies, and retirement plans. So the strategies, creating a schedule. Creating a schedule involves establishing a regular schedule for reviewing financial plans and strategies, such as quarterly and annually. And honestly, I think if you do that every day, it'll click like that. You set your schedule yourself, know what you're doing every day, you'll be so organized and so prepared. Monitoring progress, which involves regularly tracking, reviewing financial progress towards goals to identify areas where adjustment may need needed. Seeking professional advice, assessing the financial circumstances, which involve evaluating current financial circumstances, expenses, income, debt, to identify areas where adjustment may be needed. Evaluating the risks. It involves assessing potential financial risks, such as changes in interest rates, market volatility, or job loss, and marketing adjustments making adjustments to financial plans and strategies to reduce the exposure to risk. And then revising the financial plans and strategies, which involves making necessary adjustments to budgets, investment portfolios, debt repayments, insurance policies, and retirement plans to ensure that they remain aligned with the financial objectives that you set for. All right, so in conclusion, I want to cry, but this is the last one, so I'm sorry. Personal financial management, or PFM, involves the process of managing one's finances to achieve specific financial goals and objectives. It is a critical aspect of financial planning that can help individuals maintain financial stability, reduce financial stress, and achieve financial success. In summary, PFM, or personal finance management, involves a range of financial activities and strategies aimed at managing finances effectively to achieve specific financial goals and objectives. By implementing these strategies and making informed financial decisions, individuals can achieve financial stability, reduce financial stress, and achieve financial success. Oh, man, I guess that's it. That's the end. That's it. That's the end of our spring break workshop spectacular. Wow, 12 chapters and we're done. This went by like that. And man, I had a lot of fun doing this with you guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this final chapter. I know we had to push this off to Friday because we did bring in a firm Tuesday. So again, I appreciate you guys waiting for the finale. But yeah, so this is the last spring workshop for our spring break workshop spectacular for 2023. Again, like I've said already, we are planning on doing this next year in 2024. So again, if you have any ideas for next year's spring break workshop spectacular, please leave in the comment section of this video or this meeting, or talk to one of our e-board members, and we will basically consider it to putting it into next year's schedule, because again, we are definitely planning on doing it next year. So again, stay tuned. The schedule probably won't be released till probably in the January or February 2024. So again, you guys have a lot of time to think about it. So just to wrap things up, the next email you guys are going to get for all of our FDU members on Sunday, which will be our weekly email we send you guys, what meetings you're going to be having. In that email, I will include the link to view every single spring break workshop spectacular that we've done. So for chapters 1 to 12, you're going to get all of them. You're able to view them. And I also will put in the mega workshops one, because I forgot to do that. So again, I'll put that link in there. You're able to view them all, do whatever you want with them, use it for your own personal use. But again, they're for you guys to utilize them and maybe use them to help you guys out in your financial careers, which we hope you're able to use some of the tools that we gave you in this workshops. So again, that is it for the spring break workshop spectacular. We close this book on this awesome, workshop spectacular we've done. And until next year for spring break workshop spectacular, that's it. But that does not mean the end of the WMA Club's spring semester. No, we still have a lot more stuff to come. So the next time we'll have a meeting will be Monday. That will be only on WMA Club socials only. So that will be, again, on our Instagram page, or Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Rumble, Getter, Kick, and Restream. And it will be a workshop, and it will be the one topic that I think no one ever thought of actually doing, but it actually does relate to wealth management, real estate. And I'm not talking about estate planning. We're talking about real estate, like REITs. We're going to talk about that. And that workshop will be a 2-hour special from 6 to 8 p.m. So you guys are going to be in for a real treat. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this final chapter of our spring break workshop spectacular. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on our social media pages. Go to our official WMA Club website to get all of your WMA Club news and info. And with that, that is it. Until next time, this is Jack Mitchell saying so long. Have a great rest of your Friday, and we will see you all on Monday. Bye-bye.